Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, thank you once again. It's good to have you on. I want to really appreciate every one of you who has been following my videos. And yes, again, I'm rocking one of my daughter's size 8 dresses. Yeah. Yeah. It's good to have some wardrobe to go and just pick something and put on and look good. Yeah. Right, this afternoon, well, I would say it's a bit of my cheating day because I'm doing something a bit different, something that we do once in a blue moon, red moon, black moon. If you can, don't even do any moon at all. Yeah, but today is one of the days when I'm kind of piping down a bit. So my cheating day means I'm gonna have to do a little bit of things you will see and you ask yourself, that's not too healthy, right? Today I'm cooking Ayamase sauce. So once in a while we indulge ourselves, once in a while we have our cheating days, once in a while we eat as we like, yeah, but of course always remember portion control. So this afternoon, today or morning or night, wherever you are, for my tea or dinner, I am having Ayamase sauce, and I'm gonna be having it with brown rice. Usually it's a Nigerian delicacy, very, very common. There is hardly any Nigerian party you go that you don't see Ayamase. It's a lovely sauce made majorly from green peppers. And right, because it's Ayamase sauce, you should be eaten with ofada rice, but I'm using brown rice because ofada rice, one, is not available. Two, I'm also thinking of a healthier alternative. If I can't get ofada rice, yeah, I can use brown rice, not white rice, please. So right, I've got my green peppers, which this is the major ingredient for the sauce. I'm also gonna use 1 red pepper, loads of onions as well. Thank you for joining me. Crayfish to season. I've also got some fresh fish as well, or frozen fish, whichever one you like. I mean, not dry fish. And of course, I've got some, I don't have dry fish, it's just a little bit of everything I've got. So it's just one tiny bunga fish, one small, stock fillet. Then I've got this large prawn heads. I've used the body, I've got the heads. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna blend the head, and what I do, I don't throw. As much as possible, I don't like wastage. So I don't throw away. I always save to use for something else or for later. So this is got the prawn heads is gonna be blended with the peppers and the onions. So I'll put the onions in. Right. I always say that my program is not a diet plan. On a diet plan, there is always, thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not eat this. But when you are on my program, you have days when you can indulge yourself and still eat, still eat something nice. Right. Just always think of the healthier options. So, onions in. Blender's nearly full. We'll see how it goes. Right, then the green peppers. Right. There's hardly any Nigerian party you go that you wouldn't see Ayamase on top of the list. And yeah, I always indulge myself when I go for parties. Parties is just once in a while. But today I said, okay, I'll cook it at home because I haven't even been to a party for quite some time. Hello, Senior Irene. Oh, good to have you on my program. You want to come on? Right. Good to have you on. I'm making Ayamase sauce with rice this afternoon. I just thought I would indulge myself a little bit, but at the same time try as much as possible to keep it a bit healthy. As much as possible to still keep it a bit healthy. So one more green pepper to go in the blender. And when I'm blending, I'm not going to blend into a smooth paste. I still want to have it a bit coarse, not too finely, blended. Right, all blended. I'll put some water in. About half of the blender will be water. I'm still gonna sieve the water out anyway. Right, blender cover. Oh, so sorry about the noise. Thank you, Tina, for joining me. Thank you, Sister Uniform, for joining me. Oh, so sorry about the noise. Right, I said I don't want it to be too smooth. Hey, Mommy Fumi Thomas, I am learning from you. I said let me cook your Ayamase sauce today. So I'm gonna sieve. I think I should still blend it a little bit more, just a little bit, even though I don't want it too fine, but at the same time, I don't want it too coarse as well. So one more shot. Right. Mommy for me, if I'm going wrong, put me right. Oh, thank you. It's good to know that you've been following me. Thank you. So I'm sieving it to get as much water out. Trying to get as much water out. One is going to save me time so that it takes shorter time on the fire. So sieving the water out. Yeah. If I still need extra water, if it's too dry, I can always add the water from that I've sieved out. Yeah. So right. So it's always good to see, no matter what you're cooking, just try and look for ways to make it a bit healthy. So usually Ayamase sauce will have different varieties of assorted meats, different varieties of shaki, bokoto, tribe, and all that. But I don't eat all that because one thing we should be avoiding is red meat and any product from red meat. So whether beef, whether bomo shaki, kanda, whatever you call it, we're supposed to be avoiding them. So, right, it's the final one. Then we're gonna fry. Bobby Thomas puts me right though. If I am not doing it the correct way. Just trying to do something a bit different today. And if you see, I'm not a fan of pepper, so I haven't put in scotch bonnet or atarodo as we call it, because I'm not a fan of spicy food. So I think having the bell peppers is just enough for me. Just enough. So all sieved. I'll keep that aside. Then, right, had already bleached the oil. I'd bleached the oil a little bit for about 10 minutes. I had to open all the windows in the house. I had to open even the back door If I had done it while I'm on live video, the fire alarms would have gone off. But I had to make sure that there's not going to be any fire alarms going off. So I first of all bleached the oil before I started the live video. Make sure all the smoke had gone down before I started the video. We do need to, hello Sister Charity, thank you for joining me. You do need to bleach the oil for about 10 minutes. And that's another thing I will say. This is a food that I eat once in a blue, red, black moon, because of the kind of ingredients it uses. You know, one thing we shouldn't be eating so much of is palm oil. Once in a while, it's so high in cholesterol, so high, and you don't want to be loading. And if you must eat it, you have to eat it in the afternoon, and that's why I'm doing my Ayamase sauce now, so that I know it has digested before night time. Right, so my oil has been bleached and cooled down. I'll turn on the fire, then I'll fry the onions. I'll fry in the onions before I put in my Ayamase sauce, my blended green peppers and onions in. I'll turn the camera a little bit. Hey, Sister Prudence, thank you for joining me. Just making Ayamase sauce here, trying to do something different, and at the same time trying to keep it as healthy as possible. So instead of me using assorted meat, I'm using chicken. I've already grilled the chicken and it's in the oven. So I'm gonna fry my onions. Ayamase uses loads of onions, but if you are not a fan of onions, you can reduce yours. I love onions, so yeah, I don't mind. Right, okay. So wait for the onions to fry a bit. Then when the onions fries, then I can pour in my green peppers. Yeah, still got a little bit of water coming out, so drain that away. Yeah. So this is my sieved green peppers. I'll just give the onions a minute or two to fry before I put in my green peppers. Yeah, I'm no fan of stock cubes as well, like the Knorr, the Maggi and all that. So what I do, because I'm using this for Ayamase, and it's, in fact, this is a new pack. You can't see it in my kitchen. But I've gone to source for the one that's got no MSG. So when you are using stock cubes, make sure you always look for the healthy option. Whether you're using chicken stock cubes, vegetable stock cubes, beef stock cubes, make sure there is no MSG in it. Always read the label of every food you eat, of every ingredient you use. Very, very, very important. So we are eating healthy. Right, the onions, I think the onions fried, and I'm gonna fry my green peppers in. Right. So usually I wouldn't use palm oil to cook. As much as possible, avoid palm oil. This is just a one-off because, like I said, it's gonna be my cheating day. And I haven't used so much as well. You know, when you go for some parties, you will usually see Ayamase sauce uses loads of palm oil. Thank you, Sister Mercy, for joining me. Thank you, Sister Bola, for joining me. You'll see loads of palm oil, and the palm oil is swimming. That's how Ayamase should be. But I've tried to just use about half cup of palm oil. Usually it should be nothing less than 1 cup. But because I'm just trying to reduce, you know, and make it as healthy as possible, I've just used, so you wouldn't see my oil floating so much. But of course, it's supposed to kind of, so I'm just trying to do a little bit here, a little bit there, just to kind of strike a balance. So always look for healthy options. Still cooking. Not ready yet. Always look for healthy alternatives when you are doing your shopping. Like I said this afternoon, of course I can't even get ofada rice anywhere around me. So, but definitely I'm not using white rice. I'm using brown rice. So I'm using brown rice with my ofada sauce, with my Ayamase sauce this afternoon. So instead of white bread, go for brown bread. Always look for the healthier option. Instead of using cow milk, always use soya milk or almond milk or coconut water. They are always healthy alternatives. Thank you, Sister Sylvia. God bless you. Thank you for jumping on board. Thank you so much. Always look for the healthier alternatives. There is always an healthier alternative. Instead of eating eba, instead of eating pounded yam, there are less starchy foods. Oat swallow is there, cabbage swallow is there, cucumber swallow is there, eggplant swallow is there. If you want the recipe for cucumber, eggplant swallow, I'll be very happy to send them to you. So always look for the healthier options. And I always say, we can't eat the way our forefathers used to eat when they used to go to the farm, when they used to trek for several kilometers back and forth every day. We can't eat the same food. We can't eat the way they used to eat. It's not gonna do us any good. I'm just gonna keep stirring until I'm sure it's cooked enough. Right. Some people would have still made, hello sister. Sister Phoebe, thank you for joining me. Some people would have still made their blend a bit finer, but it's up to you if you want it a bit fine, a bit coarse. It's up to you how you want your sauce. But no matter what you are cooking, try and make sure that, one, you are looking for the healthier alternatives, and two, you are trying to make your food as healthy as possible. So I'm not using assorted meat. No. I'm just gonna use my fish, my crayfish, and a little bit of dry fish. I don't have any African shop around me, so it's so difficult in fact, I was so lucky to find the prawn that I am using. Hello Holly, thank you for joining me. I'm cooking a Nigerian delicacy this afternoon. It's called Ayamase sauce. There is hardly any party, any African Nigerian party that you attend, this food is always top on the list. And this sauce is one that people always go for. Hello, mommy. Thank you for joining me, Princess Folashade. You are welcome on board. So it's Ayamase sauce on my meal plan this afternoon. But as much as possible, I'm trying to keep it healthy. So I'm trying to use fish instead of assorted meat. And I have grilled chicken as well in the oven. Yeah, grilled chicken as well. So instead of using assorted meat, I'm just using chicken. Yeah, so always think about the healthy alternatives. If you must use oil to cook, you have to keep it, as small as possible. If you can use spray oil, the one you just spray, lovely, use the spray oil. If you want to just measure 1 spoon of oil, wow, that's okay. If you can do without it as much as possible. If you can do without salt as well, as much as possible. Little bit of salt, because even most of the food we have already contains salt. So by the time you add salt to it again, it makes it so much. But as much as possible, moderation is the key. Moderation is the key. I'll keep stirring. I'll keep stirring. So yeah, because I'm not using loads of oil. Hello, Julie Gayu, thank you for joining me. Because I'm not using loads of oil, so the oil is not really gonna float. I just used half a cup or less, so it's not really gonna float. But hello, thank you so much. I really do appreciate every one of you. I'm just cooking Ayamase this afternoon, and I just felt okay. I will also give you some healthy tips. If you can get dry fish, wow, all the best for you. And if you can also add eggs if you want. Of course, when you go to so many parties, they always have boiled eggs in their ayamase. I'm no fan of eggs, not at all. Of course, on my plan, you're allowed to eat 1 or 2 eggs, maybe twice a week. Yeah, but personally, even before I started, healthy lifestyle, egg has not been on my meal plan at all. I don't eat it. My kids do, but personally, I don't eat eggs. Right, but you can put boiled eggs in your ayamase sauce if you want. But please, as much as possible, we need to avoid red meat, and we need to in fact avoid cow milk and all the other assorted meat inside the cow, the intestine, the tribe, the shaki, the pomo, gizzard is fine. Gizzard is fine. In fact, yeah, I have some gizzard in the fridge that I'm also a little bit of gizzard that I'm gonna add. Yeah, it's getting there. At this time now, I'll just have to keep stirring, and I'll have to add my my fish needs to cook as well, so I have to keep stirring. If it feels too dry, I will just add some water from the ones I've sieved out. I just wanted it to fry properly. Hello, Evangelist Mediatrice. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Sister Fufu, for joining me. Yeah. So I have a little bit of of gizzard. I almost forgot about it. I kept it for my Ayamase sauce. So I'm gonna add it together in. I'll add my little dry fish. I'll add my crayfish. Still looks a bit dry, so I'll have to add a little bit of water so all the ingredients can cook together. I'll put a little bit from the sieved. Right. So you can see my oil is, I don't know if you can see, the oil is not floating. I've tried to reduce the quantity of oil. You can hardly even see the oil, but I'm gonna leave this for a few minutes to cook. I'll put my stock cubes as well. Remember, you're going for the one that's got no MSG. No MSG. Make sure you always read the label. No MSG. That's what you should be going for when you are using stock cubes. So I'm using 2 stock cubes. Always go for the healthier option. So read the labels of everything. What's the quantity of fats? What's the quantity of carbohydrates? What's the quantity of always read the labels. Hello Aisha Sanda, thank you for joining me. So I'll press them in. So I've got my gizzard, my fish in. I think I'll add a little bit more water because I want the ingredients to cook well and go in, blend in properly. So I'll leave that on. I'll leave that on for 2 minutes while I just keep talking about healthy options. Healthy options. There are always healthy options. Instead of white bread, eat brown bread. Whole wheat bread is fine. But of course, if you're allergic to gluten, so you should be looking for gluten-free, products. Hello, thank you, Aisha Sandadamu, for following me. Thank you so much. So always make sure you read the labels. It will tell you how many percentage is the fats, is the carbohydrates, is the protein. Then you should try as much as possible to always bring that down as much as possible. And I was talking about our forefathers, that our forefathers used to, eat, the meals they eat so starchy, so high in carbohydrates, so high in fats and oils, because they needed it for the kind of work they did. They were predominantly farmers. They walked several kilometers to get to the farm and several kilometers back, and the farm work was manual. It wasn't mechanized farming like we have now. So they needed all the energy from the starchy foods, all the pounded yam, the eba, the palm oil, the egusi. They needed it so much. And of course they always burn it up, because if you look at them, they always look slim, the way I look, rocking my daughter's dress. Yeah, they always look, they were never obese. So if they used to eat such food and they did all that work, and you are eating like that, and you are not working as hard as they used to work, you are not going to farm, you are not tilling the ground, you are not trekking several kilometers back and forth. From your house, you jump into your car, you enter your AC office, you sit down all day, back into your car and back into your house, and you are consuming the way your forefathers consumed 150 years ago, eating all the starchy food, all the pounded yam and everything. You are signing your death warrant. You are signing your death warrant. God forbid. But please, we need to watch it, honestly speaking. Yeah, this is gonna be ready in the next 2-3 minutes. So I'll just put a tiny bit of salt so that it won't look as if I didn't put, but honestly speaking, you don't need to put salt. Tiny as this. Honestly. If you watch my videos, I don't use salt. I don't use oil. Most of my videos. This is just my cheating day. I call it my cheating day. So, but still, even though it's my cheating day, I'm cheating with sense. Yeah. So this is my Ayamase sauce. I'm gonna put in my grilled chicken. So I said I'm not using assorted meats, although cow leg, shaki. If you don't want to die young, better run from them. Once in a blue, red, black, purple moon, maybe you can eat it, yeah. But let it not be a regular shopping, your regular shopping list. Maybe once a month when you want to indulge yourself and have a cheating day like myself. But I said no. Not any of that for me. Not any of that. If I go for parties once in a while, I don't mind. I can decide to indulge myself, but it's not on my shopping list at all. So I'm using chicken. I think I'll make do with that. If not, there'll be no space in the pot. I'll put the rest back in the oven. So grilled chicken. There's also some gizzard there. Gizzard as well as, hello, Mommy Lillian, thank you for joining me. It is my Ayamase sauce. Yeah, so I'll just give it 2 minutes to cook. And while that's on, I'll quickly dish my rice. I'll dish my rice. Then by the time I dish my rice, the Ayamase sauce is ready. And I just put the sauce beside it so you can see how it looks. So thank you. A spoon. Right. So this is my brown rice. Brown rice. I don't buy white rice anymore. So please, this one is less starchy. In fact, when you are washing it, you will see that there is no starch coming out. Instead of the white rice that you are washing 5-6 times, this one, if you wash it once or twice, you are done. There is no starch. Little, I'm not saying there is no starch at all, but the starch is really, really, really minimal. Hello, Sister Ade. Thank you for joining me. So, whoo, check it out. My Ayamase sauce. Can you see that? It's lovely. It is lovely. Ayamase. Hey, wow. Ooh. Ooh, this is delicious. I'll turn down the heat a bit. So instead of mede of assorted meat and all that, instead of all the assorted meat, shaki, pomo, this, that, I just use gizzard. I've used fresh fish because I really don't have much of dry fish. And chicken. Wow, wow. Wow. Eee. Wow, this is good. So once in a while, try something new, try something different, and of course, still try and stay healthy. Still try to, I'll turn off the heat, I'm done. Still try to stay healthy. So even though this is Ayamase sauce, I've used very low quantity of palm oil. I haven't used any beef or beef products in here at all, except for the gizzard is not beef, it's chicken. So chicken gizzard and my chicken drumstick is what I've used, and fish as well. So even though you're indulging yourself, still stay within the limits. Moderation is all. I will post it to you. Still stay within the limits and always think about the healthy alternatives. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate the time you have taken to stay with me and watch me cook my lunch this afternoon. I have to eat it this afternoon, not at night, because I don't want any cholesterol staying in my system. In fact, I may have to go to the gym to burn it off. Thank you so much. Thank God it's Friday. Have a blessed and a restful weekend, and I will see you some other time. Take good care of yourselves and watch your health. Bye.